Welcome everyone to the Dallas Personal Robotics Group, April 30th, Robot Builders Night Virtual. We're going to have the usual agenda here. We've got John, Kareem, Doug, Dave Ackley, and Carl in queue, and then we'll throw it open for open mic. Just a couple of reminders. New meeting time for Saturday, 10 a.m. We had an excellent meeting on Saturday where Brady Pamplin told us all about how to use EDA and how to use EDA something.
Easy EDA.
PCB EDA for PCB design, and passed around a bunch of circuit boards, and it was really cool. And then what was really neat was seeing some robots that we hadn't seen in person before. So Mike W. showed his robot, which we had seen, but then Kareem had his Pioneer AT robot, which he rolled around a bit, and Doug Dodgen brought his steampunk robot, and that was really just a beautiful work. I'd love to get a picture of that to put on the Facebook post. And then I demonstrated iDog doing Quick Trip. Not 100% successfully, but it at least achieved several points during a demo. So that was a great meeting. Next meeting is on Saturday, May 25th, again at DMS. It's going to be Roborama practice. So we'll have the courses set up. There'll be pizza for lunch. There's a new meeting link, which you should, and that reminds me, as soon as we turned over to John, I'm going to get over onto the, or Doug, are you on the other meetup?
No, I'm not.
I can check it too.
Yeah, if anybody's got the link, let's check it. Because I don't have. Because it would be hard for me to find that link again. Because the old meetings, I hide that in the website.
Yeah, I'll get in shortly here. Yeah.
Did you have the old meeting, Carl?
Yeah. Just give me a moment. I'll be there shortly. Yep.
Yeah, and I can join that after a while. I had an idea of putting up a slide saying the new meeting is here, but
there are a few people, so I'll just tell them. I'll get on and tell them.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Right.
Hey, Carl, the link's on the website, so they can just go to the website and get on the meeting.
Well, one of them is Ted, who's already there.
I'm just messing with you.
Thanks, Ted.
Oh, that's unkind, Ted. Okay, so why don't we switch over to John? I'll unshare, stop presenting, and John, you're up.
Okay, and let me track down page. So I have no idea. Okay, this is what I want. So hopefully this, First, I saw this, so it might be of interest. They put the fur on the thing. And somewhere in here they have the video. So...
But they skipped the hello, let me smell you step.
Right, well,
I love
that's
that.
true. But
Love that.
I thought it was cute. So,
Pretty impressive.
yeah, considering a couple years back for it to balance like that.
Isn't it interesting how the costume, the skin, changes your whole perception of the robot? It's, they're the same robot, but didn't you kind of feel like the blue dog was more doggy-like?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's kind of cool.
But you also think about it. I mean, there's two robots that they're moving around a bit before they manage to touch noses pretty gently, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The snake head thing kind of freaks me out, but
Yeah. Doesn't look very doggy-like.
no.
Yeah.
And I just think of the snake whenever I see that head for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that was just an arm, right? There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's really an arm, but
Yeah.
looks like a snake to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
basically
isn't it interesting? You're thinking the claw is the head.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if there's a camera in there.
I didn't think there was.
I think
probably it's buried down in there. It looks like
it's probably in the chest. It might be in the chest.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
basically the claw is three fingers. And I'm thinking in the center could be a camera.
Mm-hmm. Could
It would
be.
make sense. It would help to for it to be able to pick things up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably use it to scare small children, put the head in the arm and then have it, shoot up and detach, God.
So yeah, I saw that and I thought it was sort of interesting, the fur on that.
Cool. Thanks, John. Did you have something else as well?
Nope. That was the main thing I found.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks. Well, Kareem.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I see the Pioneer.
Oh yeah, there's the robot. So I didn't get my gold star on Saturday, so I just wanted to drive it for 2 seconds and get my gold star.
Okay. Okay.
All right, there you go. That's
Gold
it.
Star. Gold Star. For
Was that
Kareem.
autonomous?
Huh? No,
Was it autonomous?
that's under remote control. I'm using this guy.
Oh, okay.
The only difference from Saturday is that I finally got it working over the Wi-Fi. So this is actually connected to a separate laptop, and we got the messages going over Wi-Fi. So this is basically just my first attempt at spinning this robot up on ROS 1, and I'm now on just about to kick off a project of converting it to ROS 2.
Cool.
We'll see how well that works. But yeah, it took me a few weeks to get this sort of revived. To be clear, this is not a robot that I built. This is a robot that was around for a long time, beginning in the late 90s, I think. And and it's been widely used in the ROS community and educational communities. These came off of an auction, government surplus auction, and by the data on the flash, it indicates it came from the Air Force. So I have no idea what they were using it for. I'm sure my uses will be a little bit benign, but just trying to get this thing resuscitated. So
Is that an Oak D on it?
that is not an Oak D. That is yeah, we know what happened. Thanks for thanks for burning that one in a little bit more. No, this is an Intel real sense camera. That's a 455. 455. So
What was neat was Kareem opened up the lids front and back on Saturday, and we got to look inside at their circuit boards, and it's architecture kind of similar to my Mobot, where he's sending serial commands to the built-in microcontroller that does the low-level motor control.
Yeah, it's
Hey, Kareem, what size motors are driving it? Are they like, wheelchair size or smaller? Or?
definitely smaller than wheelchair size. There's 4 motors in there. But it's not really one per wheel. They're 2 gang together for each side of the robot. So they're tied together through a belt drive, continuous single belt drive on each side. And there's only one encoder on each side. They are bigger than the ones that, I don't know if you've ever seen the robots that my team produces. Those are the standard 550s. These are definitely beefier motors than that, but they're not wheelchair size.
They kind of look like the old Pittman motors, right?
Yeah.
This is Jim in Calgary.
Hey, Jim.
Got a question. What's the diameter of the wheels?
I haven't actually measured that. They appear to be about 8 inches. So
They're bigger than that. They're bigger than that. Bigger than
I don't think that they're the 10-inch size.
Do you have a soda can handy? Can you put a soda can beside it?
Yeah, I can get a soda can. Absolutely.
How about a ruler?
Yeah,
I don't know about a ruler.
A ruler would work, but soda cans, we know what those, how tall those are.
Reference for everything. We should design a robot in soda can.
I'm just hinting at the 6-can competition there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So soda can 6 inches. So I'd say that's.
Is it?
Yeah. So that's bigger. I would say that's definitely at least 10 inches, and maybe 12.
Thank you.
Sure.
How about a vinyl record?
It's definitely more than 2 soda cans, so I guess we got an 8-inch, 10-inch wheel.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like the idea. We now have a new standard of measure. We'll call it the soda can.
Well, the soda cans in Canada are the same size as the soda cans in the USA, so I'd use that as a good reference.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I mean, they
We could
measured
agree on one measurement.
they measured horses by hands, so why not measure robots by cans, right?
Yeah.
Are we sure soda cans aren't metric in Canada?
Yeah, but are they really metric, or are they might be metric in the United States too? You know what I mean?
They might be, yeah.
Come and visit, Ted. You can find out.
Yeah.
You know, the truth is everything's metric. Even inches are metric. So.
That is true. They changed the definition of the inch, like in the 1950s, to make it exactly 2.54?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Centimeters. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, Kareem.
And that threw all of the measuring of the real estate off. They now have a new measure of the, I forget what the term is, but anyhow, they had to add a new measure for the yards or miles or something like that for the surveying. Because it was
acre store
off of the measures when they changed the inch.
I feel like I recognize that camera, Kareem. What is it?
It's a D455, I believe.
Okay.
It's Intel RealSense.
Oh, okay. And
So it's a depth camera.
Okay.
And it's got active depth infrared. It's got a dot array, and it's supposed to work indoors and outdoors as well. So we'll see how well it. I don't have a whole lot of hopes for it working outside in the Texas sun terribly well, but even if it doesn't have the depth array, it can still use a stereo camera. So.
Oh. Looks like you got a arm mount.
That's really just a desktop boom type replacement for a tripod. I just got it clamped to the side of the robot there on that plate. So it's just a temporary thing to get the camera up a little bit higher.
Cool.
But I haven't got to the point of getting I should be able to get a point cloud from it. There's some pretty standard libraries supporting that, but I haven't had a chance to mess with that yet, since I'm still focusing more on getting it converted over to RAWS 2, so I don't have to go down start converting a whole bunch of stuff from RAWS 1 to RAWS 2, just this base platform.
Yeah. If you run into problems on that, if you decide to try that technique I emailed you about subclassing node and have problems, I'd be interested to know at least what they are.
Sure. I'd definitely be happy to collaborate with you a little bit on that if I go down that road.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Doug P. was up next.
Well, okay. I'm just gonna, if you'll pin me, I'm just gonna show a few products that I happened to see recently. The first one is if you have a Raspberry Pi 5, you have a PCIe bus, one slot for an M2 card. And so one of the things that people are using them for is to put an SD card on the Raspberry Pi 5. And I have done that, and here's what it looks like. There. And so it fits on the top. It's got a spacer. Let's see if I can show you that.
Yeah. Do you mean an SSD, not an SD?
No, SSD, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it puts an SSD card. That's it right there. And you boot up on it, and everything is really nice. I mean, it's more reliable and faster and all of those good things. And you still have access to your GPIO bus. Some of them they don't. Some of them they use some of the GPIO bus pins, but this one, you don't have to do that. The problem comes up when you're using a very large SSD card. It can take more power, and you might run into some issues. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you, if I can find it real quick, give me a second. I had it right here. Let me put it in here. I'm going to put it in here.
I love the way he opens the door and disappears into that background.
Yeah. That's a nice background. Makes me feel like I'm in the Caribbean.
Yeah, or New Zealand or somewhere nice. So are there any figures of merit for a Pi 5 and an SSD? Does it compare to like a low-end, Intel i3 laptop maybe, or as far as?
I doubt it.
No?
I haven't seen the benchmark. I'm just saying my gut feeling is you still, even a Pi 5, you're still pretty far away from an i3. There's this one website I do often go to, CPU, that they have all kinds of CPU benchmarks. You could look it up. I could dig it up. I sometimes use it to compare, should I buy this, should I buy that? But my gut feeling is a Pi 5 is still a couple of levels below an i3.
Yeah. You're muted, Doug.
It might compete with some cheap Chromebooks, you know. This is the other one. And what this one does, I gotta get rid of that stuff, is it brings 4 additional USB 3 ports. Uses the same bus. Very easy. You plug it in basically and turn on the PCI. You make one configuration change and you have 4 additional USB 3 ports. And it's all plug and play. You don't have to put any drivers or anything like that. It's kind of nice. So those are a couple of boards that I've run into recently that thought might be of interest to people if you're exploring PCI Raspberry Pi 5s. Yeah, I wish. I would love to have seen them have made it with 2 buses instead of 1. That would have really have been the cat's meow. Then you could have a SSD card and all these other goodies that you want. So, but those are 2 that I ran into this week. My main focus this week has been trying to work on Brady's presentation. So, and I'm trying to record this meeting on a Raspberry Pi 5 using OBS. So I'm kind of curious to how that's going to come out. I wouldn't want to.
I hope it's the only thing running and you're not doing 4K.
No, I am doing the native screen because it's a small monitor, and we'll see how that works. Like I said, I'll see how it works, you know. That particular machine does have an SSD on it, so should be fast enough to according to the test, it could capture 30 frames per second. All right. If you're using a PC, you know, it's not uncommon to be captured at 60 frames per second. But we'll see.
VGA resolution or no? I'm just kidding.
It's better than 1080.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's not much better. It's using a real cheap ass monitor, and so you know, it's from its glory days were in 1992. So you know, so it's a squarish monitor instead of a rectangular model. So we'll see how it goes. It's just a test.
Mm-hmm.
So I had earlier in the week watched a video that compared Raspberry Pi to an N100. I'm not sure if that's if that has an i3 or what. But there are a couple of data points that I can pull up here real quick. I've just skimmed through. So CPU. Let's see, CPU performance. He did the same tests on both of them and came up with so our boot time for the Pi 5 was 24 seconds. For the N100 was 26 seconds. And then Sysbench CPU test, Pi 5 was 2.4 seconds, N100 is 2.25. So pretty comparable. Does anyone know, let's see, what's this test? This is a CPU performance one, and on this one, the Pi 5 was a lot slower, like 3 times slower than the N100. video render, he found that Pi 5 ran 2 minutes 10, N100 1 minute 23. So again, Pi 5 was twice as slow as the N100.
Yeah,
And
now
then-
that would be something that would be important if whether he was using an SD card or SSD. You know, I've seen this one too, but I don't recall which one he was doing. Did he say?
I don't know.
Yeah, if he's just using an SD card, this is what is it? What's the name of this guy?
He was pretty careful to put similar peripherals.
Yeah, so he's got an
an M2 hat drive. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's SSD.
Yeah.
Is it an i3 CPU in the N100?
I don't know.
It's its own thing.
Okay.
And I haven't seen, like, I've got a N100 quad core on the robot, on the P3AT. So I know it's faster, but I haven't tried to compare it to other Intel platforms.
Okay. All right.
I think it evolved more from what was the precursor? The
Celeron
type stuff, yeah.
So it's not a slagged. I mean, based on that, but falls shorter in some areas.
Yeah. Well, and then you go to all the variants, like, for example, the Orange Pi. You know, they have a much powerfuler GPU on that, and faster. Supposed to be a faster chip, and their biggest problem is the support is you're pretty much on your own. So it's not something I'd recommend. The community for Pi is very valuable. But if you needed it, you could probably try that too. It's another alternative. Or you can just buy these little laptops. They got these, not laptops. What do they call they're PICs, aren't they? Isn't that what they call them? PICs? They're just a box with a bunch of ports on them.
NICs?
NICs, yeah. Eric runs one. He runs one on his robot.
I think for anyone using ROS, the Pi 5 won't get that interesting until Ubuntu ports to it. Cool. Thanks, Doug. Let's see, Dave Ackley was up next. You're muted, Dave.
Come on. There. Okay. This it's obviously backwards, but anyhow, this company out of China, they will build you a 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter 5 boards for $2. $2 for 100, basically 4 inches by 4 inches.
That is what Brady presented on Saturday.
Yeah. And they're, I use their, and he may have, Brady would have presented that, the easy EDA design system. And if you've ever used Visio for Microsoft, it's exactly like that. Everything, it feels exactly like Visio. And so it's really easy to use. And so I've had very good luck with them.
So that's the bare board price, though, right? No components?
No components, right. Yeah. But you can also, through the companion company that also has the patterns, the board patterns. It's LCSC that has most of the parts that you might want, and it's quite inexpensive.
So Ray, you're looking for a company that's going to give you PCBs for $2 with components on it?
Sure, yeah.
Why not? Yeah. But,
It's a unicorn, you know.
this company also provides the will do the assembly for you as well. I don't know what the prices are, but it's pretty cheap.
Now, Dave, when you say it's $2, is it $2 per board and you have to buy 5?
No, it's $2 for 5 boards.
Whoa.
And it costs $1.50 for shipping, and it costs 30 cents for taxes. So it ends up being 5 boards for $3.80.
Well, let me ask you
Taxes
this.
are a deal breaker.
Yeah, and Brady said that his average return time was 11 days. Okay, what did you do?
That's probably about right. I experienced about 2 weeks time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this pricing, I think, is probably a first-time buyer special.
No, I bought a dozen different designs, $2 each time, plus shipping for $1.50 and taxes for 30 cents.
Yeah, it's really crazy cheap.
Yes, it is, and it's beautiful boards. They are really excellent boards.
How many layers is that?
Pardon?
How many layers?
2 layers.
Yeah, but I think if you look at
layers and so on for not much more. I don't know what they are, but I do 2-sided. And the software is just, at least I'm familiar with Visio, and it's just a piece of cake to do it. And they, one of the boards, I've been making some small boards, but can rounded corners and all that sort of thing, and doing copper flow, and the EDA knows what this company's design rules are. So, and it's got a full DRC check and matches your circuit diagram and tells you anything that's offline it's a piece of cake.
Okay, hey Dave, now there's 2 versions of Easy EDA. One is all web-based, and I think they call it standard.
Yeah.
And then there's another one called Pro, which you can either put it all on the web or you can put it on your machine. You can save your files locally. Which one do you use?
I use the non-Pro on my machine.
On your machine. So you downloaded a file.
I downloaded it onto my machine and I run it there.
Okay, so I think that's what they call their Pro.
It's free. It's free. It's not the Pro.
No, well, no, they have Pro. They have Pro, and then they have Pro that's like what do they call it? Corporate Pro and Enterprise Pro.
Well,
but in the free, they have a standard and Pro.
Okay. Well, I've got the one that runs on my PC, and it's the free version. Okay,
that's different now. Like Brady liked to use, or at least for beginners, he said that he would use the online. But I agree with you. I'm probably going to use KiCad. So, but if I were going to use, I'm going to try this program, and I want to bring it to the, where I have everything on my own machine.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got everything on my own machine.
And talking about the man, I see his picture down here. Hey, Brady.
Hey, Brady.
Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So I endorse everything that Dave was saying there.
Yeah.
I do like the online version because I tend to do classes on that, and a horror on doing classes is getting stuff installed. But you're probably right about it's best to have it on your own machine. There was a question there about the number of layers. One of the things now that is just kind of unbelievable is 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. That's 2 inches square. They're saying from 4 to 8 layers on that. So I haven't done that, but otherwise I've probably done 10 or 12 orders, and it is just an incredible offering.
Yeah, I don't know how much, you're right. They have a 50 mil by 50 mil, and I don't know what its price is, but it's the four layers at least.
And do they handle connecting vias to whatever layers you want?
I'd have to.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. My boards, my little tiny boards here, are chock full of, I probably have 100 vias on it because I have the front side to the back side because I wanted a ground plane. And so I did copper flow on both the front and the back.
Mm-hmm.
And the copper flow says you draw the outline of what you want and you say do it, and it does it.
If you pull my presentation that Paul distributed the other day, about 2/3 of the way through that, I show some of, in effect, the receipts where I did panelizing and did those small boards.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's my go-to.
Absolutely.
Can we copy your presentation to the DPRG website? Because yours is behind a identification wall. You've got to have a Microsoft account.
So I thought, so did the link that I sent out to the lists not work for you, Corinne?
Not without a Microsoft account.
Well, Brady, I was planning on putting a copy of your presentation on the DPRG web. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to with that.
Because I downloaded it as a PDF from the thing, so I have it. I can.
Yeah, and it should be no restrictions on it. I'm not sure what the deal was about Microsoft.
I think it's because you were using OneDrive, and he might have an issue accessing a OneDrive account.
Yeah, if you'll just pull it and post it any way you will, that's wonderful with me.
Yeah, I'm trying to reconstruct right now. Earlier, I discussed with people. I'm trying to reconstruct your presentation because we have a full audio but no video.
Oh,
so we're working through it. Well, it won't be as good as if we had the full video, but it will be a very useful presentation when we're finished. I'm just moving your slides into your talk. So like when you were talking, it'd be like you were talking behind your slides.
Yeah, you've got blank check access to that, so just go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's interesting. I didn't realize it was on OneDrive, and I didn't think I had a Microsoft account, but maybe I do. But I just clicked on it in the Google Groups conversation, and it just came up in OneDrive.
Yeah. But you can in OneDrive you can do a download.
Well, what you can do is if you didn't, I've ran into this a few times, and if you didn't go into when you talk to share it or that sort of thing, or grab the link's going to require you to authenticate. But if you were to share out and just grab the link off of that,
no, I'm not signed into OneDrive. I've got a sign-in button there.
And how did you get it?
I just clicked. So in the Google Groups conversations, the DPRG list at googlegroups.com, and the most recent conversation is a link to a PCB presentation, and there's a PDF there, a link to a PDF, which is a link to OneDrive.ms.
So it's on OneDrive. So there's got to be OneDrive. And depending on whoever created that link, you can set that link to say anybody that has this link has access, or you can force them to log in.
But it must be that way, Harold, because I click it and I'm not signed in to OneDrive.
Yeah, I agree. I just tried it in a private browsing window where I'm definitely not signed in, and it just opened right up.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I'll shut up now.
Okay. Kareem, you might want to try it again.
Yeah, I'll probably have to try it through a anonymous browser or something. Because my browser knows I've got a Microsoft account and it's forcing me to log in before I proceed.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I have a Microsoft OneDrive account, and I click on it. I can download the file. I can open it up, and I've got the sign-in button at the top of the page, but I'm not signed in on that page.
Yeah.
But it is my work computer, so I'm signed into 2 different OneDrive accounts.
Mm. Yeah.
Anyhow, we can still post it on the website as well, right?
Yeah, it'll be 2 days.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I'd say I'm about 2/3 of the way through the video. So when I get it kind of good, then I'll post it and the slide deck.
Yeah, thank you for doing that presentation, Brady.
Yeah.
Really seemed to generate a lot of interest at the meeting.
Mm.
I greatly appreciated all of the ongoing and the questions. I was glad that people were into it. I think Paul had a challenge of taking the floor again after that, but I appreciate all the questions. If there's anything else, you can catch me. My email address is in there.
Yeah.
Just for grins, as Brady mentioned, they have a 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter 4-layer board. It is also $2.
Yeah.
So cool. A 2-inch by 2-inch 4-layer board, $2.
I think they go up to 6, don't they?
I think you can go up to 6, but it's.
I thought it went up to 8.
Well, the layers I see here on the standard boards is 4.
Okay.
You can go to more, I'm sure. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, if you go to, I try to here, 6 layers, 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, I get a much higher price.
Okay. Well, that answers that question.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's 4 layers is the $2 for a 2-inch by 2-inch board. Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I remember shipping boards from my company in the late 80s with a couple of $1,000 setup charge and $1,000 for 3 boards or something like that.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I think this is probably the least expensive out there.
Cool.
Don't a lot of people use PCBWay as well, although it's definitely not as cheap.
Yep. I mean,
but are they local? Are they in the States, or is that also the same thing?
I don't know. This one is clearly in China. It takes 2 weeks to get it, but for the price, I can wait.
Yeah.
One of the deals on that is I use Easy EDA, and I just love how it flows through naturally. But what you can do is you can use Easy EDA and then pull out a Gerber file and go somewhere else if you want to. Or you can take a an external Gerber file and go into the JLC PCB and get that same offer. The offer is really from JLC PCB, the fabricator.
You know, like I say, I just love their Easy EDA because I'm really familiar with Microsoft's Visual.
Visio?
Visio, yes, there's Visio, and it's exactly that. I mean, every command that you're familiar with from Visio, that's exactly how it works. So to me, it's a real natural. And in terms of, I mean, everything that you could think that you want seems to be there in one form or another. For example, if you want to have two displays of it, that's fine. It'll run two versions at the same time on your PC. You can do rounded corners. You can do, copper flow. And as I say, the Easy EDA, the way it just naturally does things, exactly flows into JLC PCB. That is, it has the design rules automatically built in. You don't have to do any futzing around with design rules or anything. It's just there.
Yeah, well, I guess the real question, one of the things that Brady didn't cover, because it wasn't a beginner subject, was how do you for example, if you wanted to change some of the design rules, for example, maybe you wanted to run, if it's a VCC line, you might want it to run twice as thick, and you might want to have be on a board that didn't require it. You might want to have larger, line to line widths and stuff. Is that easy to set up?
Oh yeah, it's whatever you put in there in terms of line widths and spacing.
Okay.
The main thing is that the spacing and all that it will do does fit right in with their design rules. And the thing that I liked was that their copper flow does a very beautiful job. And I put 100 vias or so in to hook the two ground planes together, the copper flow planes together. And, they have very small vias for those. And it just works. It just works.
David, a question that Doug asked on Saturday, and I didn't hear a clear answer, was can you make your own schematic symbols and PCB footprints?
Yeah, yes. It allows you to do your own footprints if you want to. It has a very complete library, but I've done some of my own footprints because I wanted something different. And it lets you do, it has a whole section on how to do your own schematic diagrams and footprints and what have you.
It sounds, and I'm sure all of these programs are similar. Sounds a lot like KiCad does the same stuff.
Yeah, like I said, the thing that felt really natural to me is I'm very familiar with Visio, and in terms of copying things over and step and repeat to copy and paste and all that stuff, it was Visio right there.
I'm definitely gonna try this program. I think I'm gonna download the whatever version goes local, because I like to keep my projects on my own computer.
I do too.
Yeah.
My background is a little different in that I was totally green. I didn't know anything on that. And the little video that I have in my presentation, I watched that, worked through it, and then from there just kind of learned a little more several times. And one of the 15-year-olds in what I call my robot club looked at the video and took a board all the way through. So compatibility is great, but if you don't know anything, don't be scared away.
No. Well, I mean, this system is all supposed to work together because it's all owned by the same company, I think.
Yeah.
So or at least there's some sweetheart deal. So, let's see how it works because could be an easier way to go.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Carl was up next.
Okay, cool. Hey, so this is not a robot-y thing, but there is an opportunity. A friend of mine runs a kind of marketing company, and if someone's looking for some part-time work over the next year, there's a little gig that would start up probably in 3 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks. And it could pay reasonably well for not a huge amount of time, but it's basically it involves sending these physical devices out to like 50 people at a time, and then helping them to plug it in and get it to work in their situation, and so it's running out to the post office or PO box, and then answering questions during setup, and then collecting them and offloading data. So the work would come in spurts, and it's not at all a full-time job, and it might run about a year, and it could get somewhere north of like 30 grand. So is someone in Dallas interested in that? There was one person I saw the last monthly meeting, the one before this one. I can't find his name. Anyhow, if that rings a bell with anybody, just reach out to me on the side, and I can explain a little bit more off the video.
I'll contact you on that. Sounds good.
Yeah, I just need someone that can communicate well by phone and explain relatively simple technology things to people who have trouble with simple technology things. Yep. Okay, well, that's it. That's all I had, Paul.
Thanks. Okay, that was all the people who had something to talk about. So let's throw it open to open mic. I actually have a question. So I'm going down the path of trying to build this URC that John Hyland's developed, and it's my first time getting into MicroPython, and he for the watch display, he makes it clear where to get the boot loader, but for that little Seed Studio Zal, I'm not sure if that's the right way to say Zal board. I just found one on that said it was good for the ESP32S3. But is there like some special version that you need?
Are you talking about the display, Paul?
No, the remote, the remote end, the whatever you call it.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about what he's using on his robot to talk to, you know, you can use, you can use almost any ESP32 chip to do that.
Yeah, so I've got that.
You can even use an ESP 8266, I believe.
Oh yeah, Mike, you've got that going. So
right.
Did you use his brother's R shell program?
Oh yeah, R shell's easy. Yeah, for the watch. Yeah.
So can you does it work across the USB cable? Like, can you get the REPL through the USB cable?
Right. You have it plugged in with the USB to the watch, just like that, and then you connect to it using Visual Studio. Well, Visual Studio is a good way to do it, but just use an R shell, and then it downloads the code in a directory to the. You use an rsync within R shell to sync a directory to the flash on here, and it works really good. It's really simple to do, and then to do REPL, and then you can start the program up just for debugging. One thing I was trying to get this to work, but my requirement was I only wanted to hook up to the USB cable to get information to and from the from the device, and I couldn't do that in Python. So what he did was he has 2 UART pins on here that goes to another controller to do the actual communication.
Hey, Mike, what is that? What is that board? What is that board? What board is that? What microcontroller is that?
ESP32S3 or something like that. Yeah. I mean, they got basically has the antenna on here, which is for Wi-Fi or ESP now.
Well, with the ESP32, you can do the REPL through the Wi-Fi.
You probably could, but I've just been using.
Yeah,
this thing here. Yeah,
I use Thony, and Thony. One of the options on Thony is to do it through the USB cable, or you can switch it to where it will actually do it through the Wi-Fi, and it'll be REPL.
And David, I was reading about that, but do I understand correctly that you have to first modify the boot.py to enable Wi-Fi, enable it to be a station, and then you can do the REPL through Wi-Fi?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Basically, you go through REPL, through the USB REPL, and set things up, and then it allows you to do Wi-Fi through Thony. Thony is set up to do either Wi-Fi or USB.
Oh, so do you have to? But I think that R shell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Mike, I was reading that R shell will let you do Wi-Fi.
No, what I'm saying is that using MicroPython, there's a setup through REPL using the USB to say, oh, no, I want to do it over Wi-Fi on the ESP32. You don't have to use any monitor or anything like that. You just tell it, hey, do Wi-Fi instead. I don't remember off the top of my head, the incantation, but if you go into the MicroPython, it tells you how to do that.
Yeah, well, I never tried the Wi-Fi. I'm really comfortable with cables, so I just did cable on my stuff.
Well, I'm just saying that you can do REPL either way.
Right.
Thanks. And then the other question is for, I guess, Doug, I don't know if any of you guys have built the case. I know that, Doug, you've got your own 3D printer. What kind of material do you make the case out of? You're muted, Doug.
I haven't built a case for it yet, but I'm just going to use PLA. You don't want to leave it in the car and let it get hot, though.
Yeah, well, I think the PLA is good for testing, but
Yeah.
what I was going to say is I don't particularly crazy about the way he attaches the watch to your wrist, and I've been looking at possible ways of modifying the case to make that a stronger connection. And so I haven't really attempted to actually print it out. I mean, I've looked at the file. So I just, he's wearing it, so maybe it works fine, but I would expect that the two little places where the strap goes underneath the watch to eventually break off, just because of the design. There'd be a layer shear line there, I believe. So I'm like I said, I'm looking at some alternative case options myself.
Did I understand?
I would probably use ABS too, by the way. Yeah, but go ahead.
Did I remember hearing him say that he used something called TPA?
Okay.
No.
Oh well, TPA is like Ninja Flex.
Yeah, John used ABS. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that the same thing as PLA?
TPU is Ninja Flex.
Yeah. What's TPA? I know there's two that are very similar. I still think it's a Ninja Flex type material.
I'm not sure there is anything such as TPA, but
yeah,
I thought he said TPU.
TPU, okay, that is Ninja Flex then.
I don't have it on speed dial, but you may want to go find a cat by the name of Zach Friedman. He's got a YouTube channel. It's about an hour and a half worth of stuff, but he goes through literally every filament and pluses and minuses, every one of them with different colors and rates them and all those kinds of things. And it's a pretty good handy thing if you're looking for stuff that we probably won't even be able to print, but stuff that we will print. He prints little benchies, tells you what he thinks about them, and he's just an entertaining guy to watch, by the way. So our labs on YouTube. And Zach Friedman.
yeah, Harold, I agree. He's does a really good job presenting different 3D printer filament. And he's from Colorado.
Harold, weren't you using something that was similar to PLA? I don't know, reinforced PLA or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Micro Center has. I don't think it's a Micro Center brand. I didn't realize it was it's a wider brand than this, but wider type than that. It's called Tough PLA. It's kind of a hybrid between. It prints like PLA, but it has a little bit of give to it, like ABS does. So it kind of hangs out. That's what I made the Rover bogies with, and of course I hadn't run that in over a year. The thing's probably mad at me, but besides all that, they seem to hold up pretty good on what they were doing. It's just Tough PLA, or it could be PLA Tough. It could have, I could be dyslexic on that, but. Yeah, get you some of that. And if you're close to Micro Center, drop by, spend $20, give it a try, see what I have for you. It prints way easier than ABS, I'll tell you that.
That PET G will take the sunlight.
Yeah, PET G tends to be pretty brittle. Depending on what
but it's UV stronger than PLA.
Yeah, that handles UV better. I agree.
Yeah, on MicroPython, there's you go Google MicroPython web REPL, either ESP32 or ESP 86. They've got that on the web.
I was going to let people know that I've been working on this a little bit, and I just added some modified the menus on here to send commands to my robot. So I wanted a way to open and close the claws. So, and then I also send the battery voltage from the robot to the watch. So I got it running both ways. But it was pretty good to be able to go and modify the screens and add a claw in there, an open close command.
Cool.
It took a little while, but I've never done it before. So the next edition should be a lot easier. I guess Doug's been working on the Windows. Have you been doing it, Doug?
Well, I actually started messing with it. I'm a little different approach than you. I'm just using a generic ESP32 board, just a standard size one, to send commands. And I'm still playing with, I have another slightly different idea than what he's doing that I've been playing with, but I probably would go with his standard. He's advanced his software enough where I think you can just use it as the basis and just configure the rover page to whatever you want. I don't necessarily want this on all of my robots. The one I want it for is the robot that's going to do Robo Columbus. That's the one I'm interested in because sometimes things happen that you don't understand what's going on. But what I really would like to have is something that would capture something to a SD card during the run, so I can go back on it. People who are using ROS obviously can use the ROS tools for that. But I'm hoping to make my Robo Magellan robot completely, self-contained. There's nothing other than what's on the robot.
Yeah, well, when I was working on his watch code, I was trying to leave all of his modules the same, and if I was going to change something, I made a directory with my own module to replace the main and the window module.
Yeah.
So I kept one window module and kept the main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same approach, Mark. This. Yeah. And I'll probably do a little more. Probably have a configure. Use a configure file a little differently than he did too.
Yeah, so I've been noticing when I try to send commands to my robot to open and close the claw, it's not reliable. It's like 1 in 3 gets through. And,
well, that's what I don't know. I can't guarantee I understand that, but I said I was trying a slightly different approach of using it. I'm using an asynchronous method of communication between the two, and I'm thinking it might be a little more reliable, but we'll see. I haven't the last couple of days, last week at least, I haven't actually even looked at it. I've been doing onto the other projects. So, but I hope to get back to it.
So I was wondering about, this question of how you modify his code. I was wondering if there's opportunity in subclassing as opposed to making a different module that's like Mike's module. If he subclassed some base class that was basic enough that you could subclass it into your own module.
Yeah, you have a lot of classes that he uses. Like he has like a dozen or so files, and you just instance some of his classes and then modify what you need. Like the Windows module is going to be completely different. I can't imagine how to configure that. I would just have to just rewrite it.
Yeah, he pictured it as each robot having a couple of classes uniquely to that particular robot. Okay, but they're all the same, and so you could just literally create, use one of them as a template and change it around to what you wanted, and just when you had the option of which robot you were supposed to pick, you can just eliminate all the other choices so that only your robots show up. I mean, I went over this code with Ed, and he said it was pretty nice. Ed does interfacing software. It's a type job. And he was saying that this was actually pretty good. There was he had some quibbles. He had a few quibbles, but he said this is pretty good. And so I think that I think he's done a great job. I mean, it is a fantastic project, and I don't think you need much customization. I mean, you just have to create I can't think of what is it? It's something, if you were looking at the Rover, there's one like a Rover window class, and there's one other Rover something class, and you just have to make modifications to those two classes and a few other little minor details, and you can make it work for any robot. He accomplished his goal, I think. The only problem you have is whether or not it is completely reliable in the communication. Because like Mike said, if you're trying to send a command, let's say a kill switch command, and it doesn't work except every third or fourth time, that might be problematic. But from my little testing, I didn't have any problem communicating to it.
Thanks.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a little bit of plug for our contest on June 1st. Okay, so if you pin me here real quick, I'm gonna show you part of what you get if you win. Okay, we're gonna go back. We've had a history of different. Gotta suck that in. There are a lot of different robot contests. Like this was one of the things we did. And here's another one that's similar but bigger. And here was another one that we did. We have quite a few of these. Well, this year we're going back to the traditional Ron Grant design, which is this right here. So this will be, it's engraved. This is going to be the little trophy you win if you place in the contest. Now, it might not be these, it won't be these colors, but it'll be something close. And right down here, you can see this writing. That writing is the contest year and whatnot. So
that's great, Dave.
Yeah. So that's one we're going to use this year, and so go out there and win your little trophies.
Just a warning; those are a bit delicate.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of smashed ones.
Well, I've got a whole slew of these earlier
Get some
on.
super glue, put it back together.
Yeah. So it may not be true. I'm still playing with it because, I don't want it to be exactly like the old ones, but it'll be a little close. I might make the antenna a little less fragile. Yeah. So we're now entering the last month.
And we're going to give as well, right? We're going to have prizes of 50, 40, and 30, did we decide?
Yeah, I think so. So first prize, we're making it simpler on this contest. You're not going to get shipping. It just comes out of your prize money. So if you win first, you have the option of 50. Plus, like I said, you get a little trophy. If you're second, it'll be 40, and if you're third, it'll be 30. And that one, there'll be a limit. Like if you don't claim your prize in 6 months, you've donated it. And the other thing is, if you want to, you can use your prize to pay for membership. So that's something, those are the new rules for this contest. We'll see how that works.
Let's go.
Okay. So, yeah. You can only have one year membership though. You can't go in and win every prize and say, okay, now I'm paid up for the end of time. No, that won't work that way. But you can take one of your prizes, and convert it into a membership. So like if you came in third, you would actually come out better taking the membership because you'd be 40. If you want a first, you probably want to take your prize because it's more than a membership. Okay, so anyway, so what happens if you win 3 contests? Well, if you win 3 contests, you can have one membership on whatever one that one is, and you have to use the other in 6 months. And we dropped the 5-spot competition because we did not hear from anybody that they were going to run it. So that's pretty much where we are on that update. Everybody okay with that? Yeah, okay. So see you in a month.
Question.
3 days.
Question. Dave Ackley here.
Yeah.
Who do I send my membership to, and how much is it this year?
It's $40, and you just send it on PayPal. There is, Dave, I'll send you I'll make a point after this to send you a link and everything.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, David.
Yeah.
Send me a test message so I have your email address, because it's possible if you haven't been getting notices that you might not have I might not have your email address right. It's possible. Okay. So just send me a, hey Doug, this is my email address.
Okay.
And I'll do that. Don't tell me now.
I've got your regular email.
Right. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You can also contact me on secretary at DPRG.com.
Yeah.
No, .org.
Yeah, I got your email.
Okay.
So I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
All right.
How come David Ackley isn't in? David, you're not in my master list. How come that?
Because I'm delinquent.
No. I'm not talking about membership. I'm talking about people.
Well, membership. Let me. There is one thing to clarify. If you were ever a member in DPRG, you are not you don't disappear off the rolls. you just become a delinquent. Okay, so we always follow you don't follow a new membership role, you follow existing membership role. Okay, that way you don't end up with two accounts.
Okay.
Also, it's very easy to do it on the website. So there's a member link, there's a member menu item on the far right side of the website. And if you twirl that down, you'll see lots of different options, including renewing your membership.
Yeah.
And logging in with your old, even if it's expired, you can still log in with your old password.
Yeah.
I'm just astonished because as long as you've been in the DPRG community, David, I did not find you as listed as a subscriber to the old DPRG list, and I did not. And so consequently, that you aren't on my master list of people I'm migrating to the Google group. So can you send me an email, send it to president@dprg.org? And
let me give you it real simple. It's deactivate.
No, David, don't do anything on the web.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to do it voice-wise, but anyhow.
Yeah.
I can do it to Paul, I think.
Yeah. President@dprg.org will work. Will reach me. Give me, so then I'll have your email, and then I can get you onto the new DPRG list and make sure you get those emails.
Yeah, David's been a member since 2001.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got you at Gmail. Is that yours?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send you a note.
Thank you, David.
Yeah. Well, the reason I added the claw command to this is I wanted to test my robot pushing the can around. So I said, okay, grab a can and then run the course, dozens of times, and it worked out pretty good. The odometry just drifted like a half a meter, which wasn't too bad. Because I do the mapping, so I correct for it, so I can see where the odometry is drifting.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse. So the encoders are holding pretty good, even dragging a can around.
Oh. Cool.
I like that claw that you put on that one, Mike.
Yeah.
I know I thought that was a real nice claw.
Huh? Oh, the robot?
Yeah.
Well, I created a claw and it was too big, and I took some cutters and started cutting it back until it stopped snagging on stuff. So it's a little jaggedy, but it works.
Yep.
I like the way that it tucks under the body.
Doug, I just sent you email with my address.
Okay, got it.
I do like the way that the claw tucks under the body, and then when it closes, it goes in front to grab it. So, I like that design. Yeah.
I got your email too, David. Thank you. Gotta say, I like the steam, Doug Dodgen steampunk robot. Thought that was just the coolest looking thing.
Oh yeah. It was very, very different. So it was just trying to make it sort of an interesting robot and not really a combat or a competition. So it was fun. Yeah. Yeah, we should have like a boutique robot contest. Give points for style. Yeah.
Well, we can always have a beauty contest, a little beauty pageant. Go out, you can work it.
Yeah, like your Robo Dogs, your Pie Dogs, you can put the fur on it.
I like that. That's a great idea. Hey, one thing that was tossed around on the Discord was the idea of a 40th birthday party for DPRG, you know, 40 years is a long time. So June 16th, I believe, is the official date, the official 40th anniversary. I checked calendars, and unfortunately, I would love to be there, but I will not, and Al will not be in town either. We're both going to be out of town, so I think we would, you know, it'd be great if someone in town would step up and say, "We'll find a place."
I don't think you have to hit it on the 16th, unless you guys are going away for a month. You know, we could just move it. You could even have it. You could even have it as part of the competition if, you know.
I'm going away for 3 months.
Yeah. You're going to be here on June 1st, though, right?
Yeah.
So
He will, but I won't.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, Carl's got a pretty long trip as well.
Wow. Well, maybe we do it later in the year. You know, we used to have a yearly picnic, and we can just make it the 40th anniversary picnic.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, and then, you know, probably do it, you know, when the sun is beating down super hot and everybody's like melting.
Yeah, like mid-August out in the desert.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that sounds like a good time.
In a field.
Yeah, melt off my PLA on my robot. Yeah.
I could come and melt his snowman.
Yeah. But we can I'm sure we can figure a time. You know?
I think so. Carl's out for about 3 weeks. I'm out for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it'd be really good if we could find someone else who was willing to sort of like drive it.
Well, like I say, I don't want you two guys to miss it. So I'd much rather put it off if it were me. We find a time when you guys are here. It doesn't have to be on. Yeah, you don't have to be on June 16th. You know.
Well,
somebody can light a candle and blow it out virtually on the 16th, and we'll be good.
Yeah. In fact, I'll be on a road trip on the 16th too for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, the summer is going to be a high travel time, notwithstanding our.
So next fall, you know, maybe September. We use it to talk trash about the Robo Columbus.
We can have it as an outdoor picnic robot thing. I like the pit idea for the fall.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
We can have 40th anniversary pizza during the contest.
That's true. But I think we're going to have pizza anyway, so maybe that's just extra jalapenos.
Yeah.
So, Paul,
Carl, you're not going to be there on June 1st?
I'm afraid not.
That's going to leave some opportunities for people to move up.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. And we could use it. No, I'm stuck, guys. I'm just stuck trying to get my mom settled and get the house taken care of. There's too many demands right now.
Yeah, I know how it is.
That plus new grandpap mode.
Oh, that's cool. That's usually fun.
So I got a 5-month-old in Chicago, but all that does is mean it's another trip every other month or so. Well, you know, I have a prime opportunity for somebody who would like to have a new member of their family. Seems one of our youngest female, Meadow May, who we were scheduled to have her spayed or neutered, whichever was cheaper. After we came back from the vacation, right before the vacation, showed up, and let's just say I'm going to be a grand kitty daddy.
Oh, God.
So, and I know every one of you would like to have another kitty hanging around because they're so cute and lovely. I have no idea when they'll be ready. She's not popped them out yet. I don't know, but the wife is having a good time with it and going around and doing nesting things and all that kind of stuff. She's prepping all this stuff, and I love it that she's doing this. But when it comes down to it, the cat's going to decide where she's going to kick out the kids, and that's just where it's going to be. Anytime I've ever been involved with planning this, didn't exactly work out where we thought it was going to be. You know. So anyway, kitties will be available for those that like kitties, and don't mind them becoming cats, because that will happen too. Not near getting your mother settled in, but still, or having to go to Chicago to see, a grandbaby. But it's still a bunch of little extra crap producers, literally.
Well, I'm heading out. Nice to see you guys again.
Yes, I think it sounds like we're about to that point.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah,
sounds like it.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Pat.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
See you next time.
Y'all.